I think we'll just stick as much as we can, Mitch. We might try to get you to call them as they head down the front straight. I'll try to pick them up at the 300, and we'll just give the best eyes we can on this one. We'll just put the best eyes we can as they go around. It's going to be tough. Tough calling. I lie, there's 2 races to go, Mitch. I'm missing a start sheet for this one. Apologies, as I've just been reminded by the girls here. There are 2 women's races to go. Mitch, if you can grab us a start sheet over there, that'd be great. I think we're without a start sheet for this one in mind. Or I might scrub the starters over here just for the race call. So sorry to get those girls excited who are in the 4th heat. This is, of course, the 3rd heat. The 3rd heat of the women's for 3,000 metres. So we are looking at somewhere around that 10:20 or quicker here. So this is ladies heat 3 of the 3,000 metres. 10:20 comes in with our quicker seed time. We've got a few of the girls there at that 10:20 sort of time. So, might have gone the early crow a little bit earlier there, Mitch. It looks like we've still got 6 races to come. 4 men's and 2 women's still to come. Again, just waiting for our all clear from upstairs. Our AV officials doing some tremendous work here in the slightly light deprived conditions. Oh, every girl in a rush there to get into lane 1 very quickly. So from the inside, you've got Rosie Davidson, Abby Goldsworthy of Williamstown, Saskia Lloyd of South Melbourne, Cass Mester of Wellington, Mia White, Western Athletics, Aisha Cassidy of Box Hill, Sophie Coltish of Geelong Guild. We saw her brother go around the 800 earlier. Olivia Weston of Knox, Brianna Kroll of Box Hill, Tess Rhodes of Deakin, Chelsea Saw of Melbourne University, Rebecca Barry of Frankston. Also amongst, we've got a couple of pacemakers. I see Charlotte Wilson out there again, setting the tempo up front. I also see Lucinda Rourke rolling around the middle of that pack, helping out with some pace, maybe with the second bunch, if they potentially break off a little bit later on. But yeah, 10:20 is what we're looking at here for the girls. If they can get around that mark, there'll be some girls very happy with their personal bests.
Yeah, and they're very nicely strung out there. Charlotte Wilson back out for the pacing. She did a lot of early pace work tonight, and she actually ran a fair bit of the distance. So it's good to see her back out there again. Field nicely strung out. Couldn't quite get a read on who that was around the outside. Thank you, Geordie. And yeah, these girls looking extremely comfortable. Perfect conditions for it. Hopefully everybody warming down will throw some support to everybody on the track. And still got a great crowd here and a beautiful night for racing. So as they come through the 400 metres, Charlotte Wilson doing a great job out in front. This pack's starting to separate maybe just a little bit, but it's very early, so it's very quickly to be able to bridge the gap. So yeah, as they come past
Sophie
me here,
Coltish
Wolsey, I'll get a
much Goldsworthy, the second and third runners there, Mitch. So Sophie Coltish setting right on the pace with also Abby Goldsworthy.
That's Brianna Kroll there leading the second pack, I'll call it, with the much larger field tucked in behind her there. So a few unattached athletes here as well, but looking quite smooth. The lights on down here at Box Hill. Good to see them working and in their full glory here tonight.
So down the back straight, Sophie Coltish, the Geelong Guild athlete, Abby Goldsworthy of Williamstown. They're the two that are willing to go with the pack at the moment. I'll trust you that that's Brianna Kroll there of also Box Hill. I've missed one there. It might be Cass Mester also of Wellington amongst that group. At the moment, we've broken into 3 little groups here. So 3 groups, Mitch. The pack's really opened up quite a bit.
They're about to come around me here, Wolsey. They started to separate a little bit. Charlotte Wilson still at the front there. The girl's looking extremely comfortable. So Sophie Coltish, Abby Goldsworthy, Rosie Davidson, and Tess Rhodes. As you said earlier, leading that is Brianna Kroll from Box Hill. So see if they might be able to bridge the gap. There's still plenty of racing left, and separation isn't always final. So we'll see if any of these girls can bridge it through. Beck Barry sitting at the back of that second pack, so maybe she could be the one to inject some pace. But I think it will come at some point, as I think the pace is starting to heat up. Maybe coming around towards you there, Nick. You start to see one of our athletes fall a little bit off the back there. Not a lot to be worried, but you don't want to give too much space to a quality field. So Charlotte Wilson will keep ticking the legs over, and we'll see how many can hold on and how long she's going to go for as we see that athlete now get right back on there.
Yeah, look, it's Rosie Davidson I incorrectly called a bit earlier. Rosie Davidson is the athlete sitting in third there behind Coltish and Goldsworthy. And then back behind them, it's Tess Rhodes. So that's your lead group. It's Coltish, Goldsworthy, Davidson, and also Rhodes in your front pack of 4. And that now goes back to a second pack there. We've got 6 athletes in that second pack, with our Wellington athletes quite prominent there, being Cass Mester. As they come past you, Mitch, that gap looks like it's about 30 metres to that second pack. Maybe you can try to pick up some hip numbers on our second pack of who's leading through. As you mentioned, Beck Barry's one of those 5 athletes now that are in our second pack.
Yeah, and it's still Coltish there at the front. Wolsey looking really good, and we have a new leader towards the front of this pack, and I believe that's Chelsea Saw leading that second pack there. Beck Barry also remaining contact, but Coltish at the front looking extremely comfortable. Abby Goldsworthy as well up in the mix. So these girls, we didn't quite get a look at the time, and I'll be a little bit more observant of that the next time they come around. Charlotte Wilson still at the front.
Mitch, they've gone through 1,500 and 5:07, so they're going through a pretty solid click here for that 10:20 we talked about. So through 1,500 metres, 5:07. It's Coltish, Goldsworthy, Davidson, and also our Deakin athlete there in Rhodes. The next group is led by our Melbourne University. It is Chelsea Saw, as you correctly called. Our Knox athletes next in Olivia Weston. Beck Barry amongst them. 2743 Cass Mester. And then back to Brianna Kroll. And that's our group at the moment. Saskia of South Melbourne, one of the next on the track. And 235 is Mia White of Western Athletics rounding out our field. But at the moment, the 4 in front on track for that 10:20. So 10:20 is very realistic still. Out the front, Charlotte Wilson doing an amazing job of piloting through and keeping the pace on for Coltish, Goldsworthy, Davidson, and also Rhodes.
Yeah, and we still have Sophie Coltish leading there as well. Tess Rhodes, Abby Goldsworthy, and Rosie Davidson. So Charlotte Wilson going to keep doing the work there. Chelsea Saw now starting to move through that pack. Beck Barry still there too, but it's still going to be Coltish, Goldsworthy, Rhodes, and Davidson. We're going to be that front 4, and they're all starting to change positions a little bit now. They've spotted Charlotte Wilson a little bit of distance, but not for long. They're going to pick her right back up. So I believe that that's going to be Tess Rhodes now moving into second place from what I can see on this side of the track, Nick. But all the girls obviously really feeding off each other well, feeling the energy and working to each other's rhythm, which can really help in these later parts of the stages, or later part of the race, I should say.
Yeah, look, you're right. Rhodes is the one that's moved up onto the shoulder now of Goldsworthy. And Rhodes in that front pack of 4 is the one with the slowest of the PB, so she's really brave running. Back behind them, Chelsea Saw's now made a good move. So the Melbourne Uni runner, I think she's at the physiotherapist of Melbourne University, the next one 5th on the track. And she's heading up there, Olivia Weston in the chase group, with also Beck Barry not far away. But out in front, Tess Rhodes joins Goldsworthy, so the young junior from Williamstown. We've seen her sister Grace go around the 1 lap, the 400-metre specialist. The two younger Goldsworthy sisters love the 7.5 laps. So Goldsworthy, Rhodes, Coltish, they're all still there. Davidson, our visitor, I'm not sure where she's from. Might be the Sydney colours I saw on her. And Chelsea Saw is making ground up. She was 40 metres back. It's probably down to 25-30 now.
Yeah, absolutely she is, Wolsey. Chelsea Saw has made up a lot of ground even in that last lap. So it'll be interesting to see whether she can keep that momentum going. She's brought back about a 40-metre gap. It's at about 20 metres now. So these group of 4 girls out in front of it, the benefit of working off each other, might start to feel a little bit of a 5th runner creeping up on their shoulder. So as we start to see the lead pack of 3 now, even one falling off the back there as they come around to you. I believe that is Tess Rhodes making a charge to the front of the pack. So she's going to start to do a little bit of work now. And I think that's still Sophie Coltish in 2nd place. So she obviously did a lot of work early, but it's going to be Tess Rhodes now who takes up the charge, and Chelsea Saw still coming.
Yeah, look, you're right. Rhodes has gone away with it by about 5 metres. Davidson, though, is the one now in 2nd. So it's our visitor now, Davidson in 2nd. Coltish and Goldsworthy, the 2 juniors, are in 3rd and 4th. And Chelsea Saw trying really hard to latch on. We've called Chelsea Saw for about the last 600. Can she latch on? Can she make a difference to this lead group? She's had to work really hard to do it because the pace was on early. But Tess Rhodes looking to lower that personal best of 10:29. She looks in great shape to do that this evening. They'll come through now. It'll be the bell.
Well, Wolsey, they're about to come to the bell now. They're at 8:59, 9:01. And look at Chelsea Saw now, within about 15 metres of striking the leader there. But at the front, it's still Tess Rhodes. She's put about 5-10 metres on Rosie Davidson there in 2nd place. So we'll start to see how that pans out. Over 300 metres to go. Rhodes looking extremely comfortable, though. As we mentioned throughout the night, people who tend to just bide their time away a little bit have benefited in the last 400 to 600 metres of this race. So Rhodes in 1st. But as I've said that now, Rosie Davidson, another athlete who's done a similar method, is now starting to creep up a little bit metre by metre. And speaking of metre by metre, Chelsea Saw about to move into 3rd place. So as they round the bend here, still Rosie, sorry, I take that back, still Tess Rhodes in front there. Rosie Davidson leading the charge in 2nd place. Chelsea Saw in 3rd place. There might be a little bit of work for her to do, but we're going to say it's Tess Rhodes. 120 metres to go. She will have a contest here, you'd say, from Rosie Davidson. But Tess Rhodes, she's bided her time, and now she's starting to move. She turns her head, has a look around, see how much room she's got. You've got a big Tess, so she looks fantastic. Well done to Tess Rhodes. I think she's going to take it out here. Rosie Davidson in a really fast finishing. Chelsea Saw is going to come through for 3rd, but congratulations to Tess Rhodes at 10:19 on the clock. Rosie Davidson in 2nd place there with a 10:22. Chelsea Saw is going to come through for 3rd place there. And the rest of the girls come through now, as I can't quite call them, but a 10:28, 10:30. Coming through now is Olivia Wetson. So great running there. Beck Barry as well.
Mitch, I reckon that was a 10-second PB out in front for Tess Rhodes. So, again, that's what we've been wanting to see tonight. She took it up to them. They went through in 5:07 for the 1500. They've run 10:19 probably. So she's run really well. She was at the back of that group. She was probably even 5th at one stage, probably through the first K, and made her way up beautifully. The other big mover, obviously, in the group there was Chelsea Saw. Probably had to do a little bit too much through that middle, or maybe that sort of, that 600 metres from about 2K to 2.6K to latch on. But another big mover and an eye-catching run in that women's 3rd heat of the 3,000 metres.
Yeah, and it just continues the theme of great racing.